What's going on, everyone? This is Sherry, and you are tuned into She Said What She Said, the podcast where we interview badass women in the sports world and beyond. And no, I did not move. I am in a hotel. I am in Connecticut for 2 weeks for work training, but what else am I going to do with my nights in Connecticut rather than do the podcast? So absolutely, we're keeping it going and pretty excited for tonight because I get to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is running. Who doesn't love running? Well, some people don't, but I love running. So let me bring in my better half, my number one Faye. Let's all say hi to Faye. Hey.
Hello. Hi, Sherry. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm awesome. Happy to be here.
Whoop, whoop,
Here we
whoop.
go. Whoop, whoop. Kind of center myself here.
I know. I was trying to be on the couch over there, a little bit more comfy, and the lighting was absolutely trash. So I had to come over to my little desk over here. So
it happens.
I know.
Hotel rooms need to be like selfie ready, and they're so not.
Yeah, it's like just kind of dark and dingy.
I like the blue wall though. It's pretty. Is it like turquoise?
There's like a little bit of a green to it. It is a residence inn, so like my bedroom is in that loft up there.
Oh, cool.
So I do have the different spaces, which you definitely need when you're moving into a hotel for a long period of time. I know. I just ordered a fan to be delivered tomorrow because it's too quiet. I'm like, I need something
white noise
here. Yeah. So. But yeah, this is my home away from home. I'm not allowed to run yet, but I did get the clearance that I have full range of motion in my ankle less than 2 weeks after the sprain. And so I have leveled up. I'm now working on strength and balance. And next week I will get to start running, like 5 minutes to start. And
yay. 5 minutes is a lot, girl.
Girl, I can't wait.
I know.
I can't wait.
Yay. Speaking of running.
Yes, let's go. So our guest tonight, I am super excited. And this is one of the very few, I usually never give spoilers on who our guest is, but like I had to drop one last week because our guest last week also just happened to do some marathons in her free time.
Right.
So, I'm a runner. I don't run long distance.
Me neither.
But there is something about these marathoner people where I'm like, I don't necessarily know what's going on in their brain. Like there might be something wrong with them. Like, do they know they don't have to do it?
What are you running from?
Right. But there's something about when people catch that marathon bug and they just keep doing it. And I just love to see people set big goals and achieve them. Right. I mean, that's really all like what is life if you're not like working towards something, right? If you're not striving towards something, you're just going through. And I really love to see people of different levels, of different ages, of different races, right? Doing things. And so our guest tonight, she is the first man or woman from Ghana that is a 6-star finisher.
Yeah.
If people don't know what a 6-star finisher is, that means that she has completed the Abbott 6 major world marathons. So Chicago, New York, Boston, Berlin, London, and Tokyo. It's an exclusive club. She might know how many people have done it, but it is one of the pinnacles of marathon running. So without further ado, all the way from Ghana via Chicago. Nana, what's going on?
Nana, hello.
How are you? Hi, Sherry. Hi, Phaedra. How are you?
Oh, good.
I love it. I love it. And see, already sounds like a legend. Isn't that you? The first.
Yeah,
amazing.
The first.
Yes.
And you asked, can you wear your medals? I was like, girl.
Of course.
So first of all, give us a tour. Can you give us a tour of each medal?
Of each medal? Sure. So this is Chicago 2017. That's what kicked it all off. That's when I found out about the Abbott 7.
Okay.
And then after that, I went to Berlin in 2018 and did Berlin Marathon. Then I went to London in April 2019 for the London Marathon. And then the baddest of the bad is New York. And I did New York also in November 2019. And I
Mm.
was geared to do Tokyo in 2020. And we all know what happened with the world, right? Everything got shut down. So 2023, I did Boston, the
Mhm.
baddest of all marathons, the 127th Boston Marathon last year. I did it. And then Tokyo last month, March 3rd, and then you get the big kahuna. This is what we all strive
Yes.
for, is the Avid Six. So yes, so
Beautiful.
these are the six majors. Yes.
Oh,
Six majors with the seventh one. So we were talking a little bit before we got started. So you are, born and raised in Ghana till you were 14. Were you doing any running? Were you an athlete growing up? What was life like, in Ghana growing up?
So I did run track in elementary school. So I did my elementary school education in Ghana, and I did run. I did run, but I was not running long distance. I
Mhm.
did run 100 meters, 4 by 100 and 200. So I was the anchor for the 4 by 100 all the time. But when I moved to the US, I was not really a runner at all. I did track for 2 years in high school, and then I moved on to soccer for the third and my third and last year of high school. So running was not really something that I was doing all the time. Yeah, yeah.
well, there's a lot of running in soccer. I
A
really
lot of running in
respect.
soccer. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
but you
running.
weren't like
Yes.
focused on track or long distance running.
No, no long distance running, but I did, like I said, I did do track in Bolingbrook High School for my sophomore year. And then my junior year is when we had the first girls soccer team in Bolingbrook High School. So I joined it.
Mm.
Yeah, so we were the first. Yeah, I was the first
Look
there
at
as well.
you,
That's
always
Yeah,
first.
yeah.
yeah. So I did soccer for the junior year and my senior year in Bolingbrook High School. Yes.
Oh, very cool. I know my ex-husband went to Bolingbrook, and he's I
Oh,
think a few years younger than you, but
oh,
I'm sure he would remember because I think he would have been a freshman when you were a senior, so he would have
oh,
remembered that. Yeah, I'll have
oh,
to ask him about that.
oh.
That's pretty cool.
Don't tell my age now, Phaedra.
Well, it's all over the news. I didn't know, but I mean, I saw. I mean, everyone's gonna look you up.
She said it's all over the news.
I mean, like anytime they look you up to get your story, I mean, that's the first thing that popped up was your age. And I was like, because I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, wait, what? So I sorry, I broke it, but it's okay, girl. You don't look it. Like if you wanted to try to hide it, we could definitely hide it.
I love it.
I'm
I
sorry,
love
telling
it.
secrets.
Right out here. Come on, y'all. So our question, from the audience, and this was my question, how did you get into running again? Right? Like, what was your journey getting to that? Which was the first marathon, and what was the journey getting to that?
So the journey was I got divorced. Well, I got separated
Mhm.
and moved from Chicago to Austin. So I'm in Austin. At this point, I'm divorced in 2012, right? I was just separated, and my daughter and I have moved here, and I didn't really know anyone, so I was dropping my daughter off, and then one day I saw a trail. So I dropped my daughter off. I was working nights. So I went to the trail. I was just walking. So I have been on that trail for maybe I would say a good 4 or 5 months. And then one day I met two African American girls who are still my girls to today. And they told me that they belong to a group called Black Girls Run,
Mm.
and they meet every Saturday for a group run. So if they welcome walkers, whatever. So if I'm interested, I can join. I can come and join them. So I believe it was a Wednesday, and then the Saturday I did go out there, and I remember that day people were saying, "Oh, I'm here to do 10 miles today. I'm doing 5 miles. I'm doing 3 miles," and I'm thinking to my head, "What are you all doing? Why? Are you running 10 miles today? For what?
You know you
So
don't have to.
right, right. So they paired me up with another girl who happens to be my sorority sister. So we started just walking and running, walking, like a walk run.
Yep.
And then she asked me, how many miles are you doing? And I said, I don't know. And she said, well, we already at the 2.5 mile mark. So if you go back, that means you've run 5 miles today. And I think that was the end of it. I started meeting them every weekend. I started running a little bit on my own. I mean, nothing like I was fast or anything. I was just, just doing it. And then there was a race coming up that the Black Girls Run in Austin, they will find different races to either volunteer or run in. And there was a race that was coming up that November 2012 that is called Run for Water. And it's a local race for an East African runner from Burundi who lives in Austin and raises money to build boreholes for his country in Burundi. So it was one of Black Girls Run Austin's charities. So I told my friend that I would like to train to run that race. That was a 10 miler. So that was my first time that I did any race. And that was November of 2013 was my first time that I did a full-on race. Yeah, a full-on race. Yeah, that was a 10 miler. Yeah, for that charity. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Mhm.
I didn't realize, I knew you were in your sorority. That's how I got a hold of you, because I saw one of your sorors post and I was like, I want her. But, talk about being out there and finding that Black Girls Run organization. Like, do you think that you would have ever gotten to this point if you hadn't met that group? Do you think you would have started?
No, I don't think I will ever started running. I mean, they became my community here in Austin, moving here from Chicago. My whole family is in Chicago. My entire support system lives in Chicago. So they became my support system here. They became my family here. And when you are in any type of a community or a group and people are doing different things and achieving different goals, it kind of like pushes you want to do something else, right? So I remember the following year, I think the following, I think 2014, they were all planning to run the Austin half marathon.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was also the 3M half marathon. So I said, I want to do it. So we all trained together. So now it has become a weekly thing. Now I am training for a race. So I just, I would just go out there. I don't have any training plan. I don't have any coach or anything. I was just get out and whatever that my heart can take, I would just run it. Whatever my heart can take, I would just run it. I didn't know anything about shoes or anything, because I remember my first race, I bought brand new shoes for my 10 miler, and it was the worst idea ever.
Right. You're not supposed to do that.
I know.
But if you had no one to tell you,
I did not know that. I wanted to be fly on my first race.
Exactly.
Clothes need to be tight. My shoes need to be on point, and it was a bad idea. Yes, it was a bad idea. But no,
new on race day. That
exactly.
Is,
Yeah.
Now
So to answer your question, I don't think that I would have started running without Black Girls Run. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how was it like having the group of women like you, right? Because I mean, the running distance community in the U.S. is more white. You see more white women, white men. What was it like having women that look like you?
I mean, I didn't know anything about any of these races or marathon running or anything like that. So it was just me and my girls. We would go, and for the most part, it would just be us at the races, But I never looked at it as any racial thing.
Sure.
I know that cross country has always been for a more white population, and and track and fields and sprints have always been for more of us African Americans. But when I was starting, I wasn't looking at it like that way. We were social runners. I like going to run and having pancakes after our long runs on Saturdays. That was what that was all about for me at the time. Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's so fun.
Right?
That's-
Right. I want
That's
some
awesome.
pancakes.
Right. It was all about what are we eating after the run today? Right. Yeah.
How did you? So you hadn't run for a long time.
Mhm.
And how were you? Said you? How many kids do you have?
I have a daughter. She's
You have
20.
a daughter. Okay,
Mhm.
and so how was she? Was she really excited when you started getting back into the runs and like seeing you? I mean, that she was young back then, but like, was she like coming to support you? And
Yeah, I mean, she didn't really understand what I was doing. Of course, she didn't.
okay,
But I would take her with me. Like when I'm going on my runs, or I will schedule my runs around her activities. So if she has
yeah,
soccer practice, and I have mileage to run that day while she's practicing, I'll run in that neighborhood. Right? So
perfect.
eventually, I did get her to do a race with me, and at the age of 13, she did her first half marathon, and she's done. She said
Um,
she's done. Yeah,
I've done one, and
yeah,
I was
she said
done
I'm
too.
done. Yeah, she's done.
He was a
Yeah, she's
one
done.
and done.
One and done.
Yeah,
Oh,
one
I
and done.
love it.
Exactly, one and
I
done.
That's so
love
funny.
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
uh,
funny.
so you did your first half
hmm
in Austin.
hmm
When was your first full marathon?
In Austin, I did my first half. Um, January 2014. So actually, this is my 10th year of running. And I was 43 at the time. And then at 45, 2 years later, which is, 45, I did my first full marathon, and I did it here in Austin. Yes.
You just gave your age away, but sneaky, sneaky, you snitched on yourself. But
I didn't mean to do that. Right.
Like I said, everyone was already Googling it, so
I know,
everyone already
right?
knew.
Yeah, everyone already knew because you don't look it. You don't look it at all.
Thank
Oh
you.
man.
Thank you.
I almost for a second I was like, why did she say she was 45? Because I keep thinking you're younger. I'm like, that seems like no, she's not 55 right now. That's weird. Oh, that's awesome. Did you how did you feel about the difference in the training and just the feeling of accomplishing that?
You know, I had my friend Aisha. She ran track like all through high school, did it in college. So she's very physical, in training, and I would just run with her. I mean, I didn't really know anything about running. I would just get out there and just run. I didn't know the discipline of it. I didn't know the theories behind why I was doing things. I didn't know how to incorporate strength training into running. Um, when not to run so much. I didn't know anything about taper. I mean, I would just run all the time, not really giving my body a break.
Right.
But as I've gotten older and I've gotten matured in running, rest is part of the training, and
Yeah.
sleep is part of your training. So it's just having a good friend and having the community of Black Girls Run did really really help me when I was training for my first marathon. I remember that I was doing my first 22 mile. That was my last run on the plan that I had at the time. I Googled it I think I got it online. And one of my Black Girls Run sisters, she was like 62 at the time. And she ran that 22 miles with me that day. And I mean, that was the community. That was the community that I was in. Yeah, that was the community. I mean, I remember, folks were coming in, running like 5 miles with me, 3 miles here, but she stayed with me throughout my entire 22 miles. Yeah, on that training cycle. Yes.
That's
Mhm.
incredible.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I wouldn't do that for you. I'm so sorry, but
I would like be on my bike next to you, like you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have a question that came in. What's the most challenging part of running a marathon? Is it like controlling your breathing, wearing the right shoes, eating? I mean, fuel is so important for
Totally.
you. What is really your most the thing that you struggle with the most, or the biggest challenge for you?
I mean, just the running period. I mean, for me,
Run.
sometimes just getting out of the bed is the hardest part. But for me, the moment if I'm able to get out, the moment I lace my shoes, I know whatever mileage that I have ahead of me is going to get done. But sometimes just getting out of the house is the most difficult, But um, a marathon training is hard on the body. You have to be disciplined. You have to forego a lot of things. You have to say no to a lot of things. When I'm training, for the most part, I give up alcohol for the most part. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, a lot of marathoners
yeah,
do.
yeah, I do that.
Sports
So
in
if it's
general.
18 weeks or whatever that I'm training, there's no alcohol. I really try to cut back on a red meat. I mean, I
Inflammation.
hardly eat red meat now, because of I'm always training. I stick with chicken and fish, but because you're running so much, your metabolism does go up, and you do eat a lot, but you have to be very sensible in what you are eating, So for me, I would say that diet is always my challenge because I feel like because I'm running so much, I can eat whatever, but I can't. Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
You can't. What do you do for fuel during your runs? Are you someone that tries to run on an empty stomach? Do you eat Cliff Bars during it?
So for me, I've evolved over time, right? So now Morton is what I use for my fuel, and I trained whatever that you're going to use. Is normally they will tell you that find out what the course is going to provide and then train with that, or at least that. But I try to stick with what I have. So whatever that I train with is what I'm training with throughout my entire training, but I don't eat in between. Like when I'm running on the course, I don't eat. I just use my gels.
Yep.
And I am in between. So like my odd numbers, I will do water. My even numbers, I will do my drink, my hydration fuel, so I alternate with that. But for the most part, I don't eat a lot on the course now, besides Joe. But there are good people out there who will bring food out there. And yeah, I have taken a shot before though on the course. If I'm getting closer to the finish, I was somebody. I think I think I did Houston Marathon last year, and somebody had serving bourbon on the course. Yeah. I think like mile 24. And I was like,
I was just about to say,
I would take that.
mile 24. You're basically, you're basically done.
Yes,
do it.
Do you have a favorite?
We have another question. Mama wants just stopping to say that we are part of your family.
Sister. That's my cousin.
So proud of you. Question that she has is, what is next for Nana in her running world?
So right now, I think I'm going for second round of 6. I am not in a hurry to finish it. I ran Chicago last October. I'm running Berlin in September, but I think the 7th continent is what I'm eyeing right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the 7 continents for sure. Yeah, it's definitely a goal.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And I've seen that's been starting to become a thing. So your first piece of your 6 would have been the Chicago one.
Yes, 2017, correct.
2017. Did you know about the Abbott 6 before you ran Chicago, or did you learn about that after?
I learned that after. Actually, it was Chicago that one of my running cousins, I call them cousins, one of my running cousins asked me, am I chasing the 6? And I said, what is that? I don't even know what that is. And she said, no, the Abbott 6. And I said, no, I'm just running Chicago because I haven't run Chicago yet. So I'm here to run Chicago. So I came home and I looked it up. And I was like, oh my God. Because before, when I started running, I remember I did 3 marathons in 90 days just so that I could be part of the double agents. So, and then I did the 3 half marathons in 60 days. So I could be half fanatics.
Oh
Remember?
my
It was a
God.
thing. It was a
You've
thing. It
done
was a
those
thing.
ones.
Remember?
Oh,
It was a
yeah.
thing. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So I
Dang.
remember when I did the 3 full in 90 days, I did Paris at that time, I did Austin, and then I did Little Rock, Arkansas for
Hmm.
that big gigantic medal for Little Rock. And so I didn't really know anything about Abbott. So then I came home, I did the research, and I was like, oh my God, look at all these countries, but there is nobody for my country.
Hmm.
So I registered for it, registered my country, and here we are. And I was like, you know what? I need to get this done. I need to get this done for
Beautiful.
my nation. Yeah, I need to get this done for
Oh
them. Yep.
man.
Yeah.
Do you go back there? Like, have you visited back there since you've done all this?
Oh, I was there. I went to Ghana right after Tokyo. I went from
Yep.
Tokyo straight to Ghana. Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
that's awesome. Were you getting parties and like after and just like everyone was just like, oh my gosh, that has to be amazing. Here in like the States, they're like, oh yeah, you ran a marathon.
It-
Awesome. Good for you. Like your whole
well,
country is
you'll
like,
be
yeah.
surprised. You'd be surprised to know that not a lot. Because in Ghana we are more about soccer than
Yep.
anything else,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So a lot of people don't really even know what the Abbott world is.
Sure.
Only a few people who are in the marathon world
Yeah.
even know about it. So I had to. It was a lot of education. I was able to have a lot of press when I was there, so I was able to educate people on what it was, what the Abbott is, and what encompasses of the Abbott, and what a prestigious little group that we have. Because as of last Sunday, before the Boston Marathon on Monday, only I think 1,000, I think like 1,800 um women from the US have completed it, and about 5,040 something worldwide have completed it. And
Wow.
I'm happy to say that I am the only one from my nation that have completed it. So
That's
it's amazing.
amazing.
I love
That's
it. I
insane.
love it.
Insane.
Yeah.
Your cousin has another question. How does your daughter feel about your running journey and your accomplishments?
Um,
Besides not wanting to join you.
right. I mean, I think she's very proud. I think, especially, I took her to Tokyo with me.
Mm.
So I think after she saw that, after Tokyo, well, we don't call ourselves cousins. It's my brother. My brother was there. My
Mhm.
sister, mama was there. My best friend was there. My line sister was there, and then my daughter was there. So I felt like I had, everybody. My daughter was representing my nieces and nephews. My sorority sister was representing all my sorors. My brother and sister were representing my family, and then my best friend was representing all of my friends, that I have left here. So it was. I think she was proud, especially when she saw me. I could see, she doesn't talk much. She's very, reserved a little bit, but
Okay.
I could see the pride in her face, and yeah. I think she's very proud. Yeah, I think she's very proud.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay, sure.
I'm choking. You got me all choked up. I was going to ask a question, but you kind of talked about this, about your, how you had to change a lot of things getting prepared, like just how training for something like that is just, you're like in it. Over the last 10 years, have you withstood any like injuries? And what is your like body self-care like? How do you take care of your body so that you can run, especially if you're training all the time?
So I was in Ghana 2 years ago, and they said it was a hairline fracture. I kind of like I fell in the gutter. It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I did, and they said it was a hairline fracture, and then I came back home, did an MRI, and found out that it was actually a break.
Mm.
So I did a lot of physical therapy for that. But I have Peloton bike at home. I use Peloton a lot, for meditation, for Pilates, for strength training. Actually, for Boston and Tokyo, I trained with the Peloton marathon
Wow.
training. It's really for, they tell you that it's for not, it's for someone training for their first marathon, but you can level it up. But I like the discipline of that schedule because it gives me a roadmap. It gives me my rest days. It gives me days that I'm only doing strength training. It gives me days where I need to do tempo run. So I like that. That schedule. And I like that accountability. But like I said, rest is part of my training. I'm in
Good.
bed by 9:30, even now.
Yeah.
I am in bed.
So
All
is
my family,
Phaedra.
my family, and my friends will tell you, if you try to call me past 9 o'clock, you are not gonna get me because I'm already in the bed.
Yeah.
But for them, I would say that I have been lucky and blessed that aside from my right ankle that I had that little issue, I have been in good physical shape. I do massages a lot. If I need to get in, sometimes, as I'm getting older, I can feel like, sometimes back pain here and there. Or I'm quick to get an acupuncture. I don't mind it at
Yep.
all. Yeah. I will go to chiropractor and get my back break into real quick, relax, snap back in, and and keep it moving. So I do take care of myself. I used to do ice bath, but I have realized that there's no scientific thing behind it that it doesn't really do anything for recovery. So recovery for me is really sleep. I rest.
That's great.
I rest. Yeah.
That is the most
Yeah.
basic type
Yeah.
of recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I rest.
It
Yeah.
needs $0 to do
That's
it.
right.
And it is so important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I stopped. So I ran track at Penn State, and I used to take ice baths pretty much after every single practice, sometimes twice a day. I took like one post college, and I was like, you know what? No, I don't care how much it helps. I am done with ice baths because I sat
I
in
don't.
that
I don't
tank
see
so
any
many times.
scientific thing behind. I haven't read anywhere that says that it
I
speeds
know.
up your
Yeah,
recovery or anything like that. I haven't read anywhere. Yeah.
same. I'm like, they
Yeah.
just were torturing me every single day. Okay, Frank. Frank says ice baths were the best. You know what, Frank? You're weird. So
Yeah. Since when stuff. Yeah.
Sis was due, man.
Mhm.
Yeah. All of there's so many overuse injuries you can get from running, right? Because you're doing the same thing over and over. You're probably on pavement. You got to make sure. Are you religious about changing your shoes? Every
Breaking them in.
hours, or how are you rotation?
So I wear the same shoes. So I started with Brooks. I used to wear Brooks a lot, right? And then I went through different phases of Hoka. I used to wear, my first Hoka was Clifton 3. And it was like the best. And I should have bought like 1,000 and kept it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then as they change it, I didn't really, it didn't feel good. And then Clifton 7 was great. But then they changed it to 8 and it was too bulky. So now I've been wearing Mach 5 for the last 2 years, and I'm sticking to it. So I have like 3-4 new pairs that that I wear. So whatever shoe that I'm training with is the shoe that I'm wearing for my race. Or I would get the same shoe, same model, nothing. I don't change anything. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't really try to change a whole lot. I have this bra. It's really gross, but it's my running bra. It's my race bra. It's my race bra. I'm telling you, it is. Because I used to love moving comfort, and then they changed it to Brooks, and I feel like I can't find the support that I used to have. So the clips are like only 2 left, but hey, I make it work. I'll make it
I
work.
feel like when you find one that you like, you're still going to take that fabric and sew it into the new
telling
I
one.
you,
know,
I'm
So
right?
that,
telling
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
I'm telling you, yes, yeah, yeah.
oh
So
my
I'm
God.
a creature of habit. I try not to do a whole lot of changing. I'm not on my race day. I'm not trying to be fly. I'm not trying to be cute on the course. No, there's no new
It's
shoes
the
for me.
business.
No, nah. I might do a new shirt, but even my pants is the same. No, I don't try to change it.
You don't
I
need
don't.
weird chafing.
No, I don't
Mhm.
want any chafing. No, 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 not at all. No. So it's the same stuff. Yeah, I just changed my tank, but that's about it.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Hmm.
I'm the same with you for the shoes. There was one model of Pegasus that I pretty sure
Oh,
I
yeah.
wore for
Hmm.
I want to
Pegasus
say
were my shoes.
5 or 6 years.
Yep.
Hmm.
There was just one model, and it got to be the point where I was only finding it on like Amazon. Like there was
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
third parties.
Yep.
And then when I couldn't find them anymore, I like ordered like 4 different types of Pegasus. I did find one that I do like.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, but I had to try a bunch on, and then
Yeah.
I have a Brooks that I do for like speed work or quicker workouts. I do have a Brooks like lightweight one, but yeah, no, it's because when they change models, I'm like,
Yeah,
why,
it
why?
changes. Yeah, I know,
Please,
Yeah.
I
please
know,
stop. You can
I
change the
know.
color, but please don't
Yeah,
change
I
the
know,
Yeah.
I
names.
know.
Ugh.
Yeah, yeah. So now I think Hook Up Mark 5 now is it. I just got a pair in from Running Warehouse this morning. I was like, it's on sale, and I'm gonna need it, so I'm just gonna buy it. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it's the best, right? You know you'll need it.
Yep. Yep.
You know it will
Yeah.
get used.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Uh, so with your 6, we'll narrow it down to our 6 Abbott races.
Marathon.
Thank you. Okay, what's the word I want? Besides the fact that Tokyo was the one that was number 6, taking that out of kind of the mindset, which is your favorite course of those 6?
Ooh. You know what? I like London, but I'll take Boston because Boston. I'll take
Really?
Boston because the history behind it
Mm-hmm.
for Boston. Um, just how I got into just how I got into
Yeah, how did you
Boston.
get into Boston? Because I know that's one of the harder one to get into.
Excuse me. Yeah. I was meant to run Tokyo last year,
Mm-hmm.
and I ran for charity, Team for Kids, and for whatever reason, it did not submit my paperwork to Tokyo. So
Mm.
I had already did a fundraising back in 2019 to run in 2020. So um, when after pandemic and they opened it up again, I chose to run in 2023. So I had been training for the whole like I've been training for what about 6 weeks, about 16 weeks. By the time that I realized that I was not going to Tokyo last year,
Mm.
so Team for
Mm.
Kids reached out to me. They said that they made a mistake on their end. For some reason, they didn't, myself didn't get submit. So since I've been training, they will give me Tokyo and they'll give me Boston and also give me Tokyo for 2024.
Oh.
So I still get choked up when I talk about it. So I ended up having Boston and then going to Tokyo under my charity. So it was I wasn't expecting it, but it's one of those things where when one door closes, another one opens, and then this time 2 doors
Mm-hmm.
open for me. And then just being, the history behind Boston, the first woman to ever run Boston back in the 1960s, where women
Yeah.
were not even allowed to run that race.
I hear
You know,
ya.
being African American, being Ghanaian, being the first Ghanaian to ever run that race. And I remember the Sunday before the race, they have service. They have service just like they do in New York. They have church service. So I went to service, and for some reason I don't know what, but the choir sang a song, and they were singing in my native Ghanaian language. And these
What?
are white people, white people,
White
Boston,
folk.
Bostonians, and I still have the program today. And then when I mean, I was just in tears, like, how could this happen? Like, how did this happen? And then that day, I ran my best race with all the six. I ran my fastest in Boston.
Mm.
And I don't know if it's because of the extra training that I had on top because I didn't go to Tokyo the month before or what, but it was just something about that race last year that just did it. That just did it. The course, crowd, I mean, everything was amazing. Everything was amazing. Yeah,
Sounds amazing.
everything was amazing. Yeah.
Even with Heartbreak Hill, you still ran your fastest
Oh,
time.
honey, I took that bad boy like I took it. I took it like a beast. Man, when I
Like you
when
ain't
I
breaking
got
my heart.
there, because first, because everybody was telling me because we have our Black Unicorn family, which is all the African American runners who run Boston Marathon,
Mm.
and we have an organization called Black Unicorns. So these
Okay.
are all of us and they host us. So they host us in Boston. Black Girls
Wow.
Run Boston hosted us as well. So I had like people taking care of me that whole weekend. Somebody picking me up from the airport, driving me out,
I love
driving
You
me
don't
this.
have to worry.
around. So it was just great support that whole weekend. And someone told me, it's like, well, start off very slow so that you can have more energy, man. I was like, no, this is my chance to run Boston.
Yeah.
I'm going in for it. And I went in. I went in. Yeah,
Did you
I went
feel
in.
like with all that support, there was a much more, I mean, you have all the support all weekend. Then you go to church and you do that. Like, so you're just extremely inspired. Were you less like nervous or more just like rested? Did you feel more rested? Your brain hadn't been worrying about everything. So going in, were you just more relaxed?
I think I was more relaxed. Of course I was nervous because
Sure.
trying to get into Boston is hard. So I'm looking like this is my chance to make this time and to just put everything that I got in it because with Boston, if even the lowest fundraise is about 7,000. And
Mhm.
even just to get into a charity, what you have to go through to get into a charity. I have written letters to charities to try to get in previous years, and I didn't hear anything back.
Mm.
So I felt like this was my chance to really like one and out. Get in and get it done. And it's like it's the job. Your one job today is go out there and just run your heart out. And that was my whole thing. Is just go out there and run your heart out. Yeah.
Have you seen the um, documentary called Runner about the first marathoner or athlete from South Sudan to compete in the Olympics?
No, I have not, but I'm gonna check it out.
Oh my God. When you were talking about like having the community with you and feeling it,
Mhm.
first person to represent South Sudan in the Olympics and how the whole Sudanese community like created, they sewed flags. And so, he was saying it was a tough race. Like he was going and he turns a corner and he just sees his country's flag. That documentary will make you cry. I'm just saying, I am a crier for like sports films, like anything ESPN does. But this one,
Yeah.
I watched it on a plane. I was trying to look it up real quick to see what year it came out. I want to say it came out in around 2020, but I cannot recommend that documentary enough.
I'm gonna check it out.
Please,
I'm gonna check it out.
please do.
I will.
It's just, just talking about, the like hearing it, the song in your native language, just kind of just getting that piece of your own culture in a place that you're not expecting it.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I remember going to the after the service, I went to the choir, one of the choir members, and I said, "You just sang a song in my native language." And it's like, I was like, "Yes, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it." Yeah, yeah. It was. I was surprised. But I mean, I guess God was there. Yeah, God was there. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Boston was the best. What was the most
Yeah.
challenging course? Either the terrain, the conditions, mentally, physically. Which was the most challenging one?
Tokyo. Oh my God. I would have said New York because New York 2019 was hard. It was hot.
Yeah.
But with Tokyo, the pressure, so
Mm.
all this while I've just been running my own race. I'm very people would just ask me, oh, I'm running this marathon here. I'm running it's just never like, any big deal. But then all of a sudden I felt like my whole country was on my shoulder.
Mm.
Like I have to do this, for them. And then with Tokyo, the yellow bus. Oh my God, the yellow bus.
Mhm.
Tokyo has 9 different mile markers, right? 9 different
Mhm.
points. And you have to make it at the end. And with Tokyo, it's not your chip time. It is the gun time.
Oh.
So whenever time they least start, you start, and then you have to make it at a certain time at each mile marker, like the 3 miles, whatever. But I knew that I can run a marathon under 6 hours. I knew that. I knew that if I push it, I can run under 5 and 8, 5:30.
Mhm.
But it's just, and then the loop. I don't like loop arounds.
Mm.
Force.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
like that. Oh my
Yep.
God.
Mhm.
And it was 9 of them.
Ah.
So
Oh my God.
Yeah.
so
That sounds awful.
the pressure of trying to finish it because my whole thing is, when am I coming back to Tokyo again to do this again? And then the people like my family who have traveled all this way to
Mhm.
come and support me. I felt like it was just added pressure on top of the race.
Mm.
I think that's what made it more difficult. But by the time I met one of my running cousins, and she's like, "Oh, we are like about an hour and a half ahead, so we are good." And at this time, I think we're about mile 22. So I was like, "Oh, now I can really relax." I can really relax because they have a yellow bus that really pick you up from the course. In Japan, they will pick you up because they will tell you you are not going to
But
make the finish line, so they will
oh,
pick you from the course. So I remember
oh,
one of my cousins was telling me, one of my running cousins was saying, all I want you to do is stay ahead of the yellow bus.
okay.
That's
Mhm.
it for Tokyo. Stay ahead of that yellow bus. Yeah, yeah. It made it. It was a hot day for
Mm.
March for them. I guess it was a hot day that day, and then just like all the stuff that I mentioned, it just made it more difficult. But at the same time, it was
Mhm.
it was the best. Yeah, it was the best. Yeah.
We were joking earlier, like when we were saying, why do you people run? And I'm just like, yeah, what are you running from? Well, in Tokyo, you
The
are literally
yellow
running from the
bus.
yellow bus.
Exactly. You are from the yellow bus. You are riding from the yellow bus for sure, Peter.
There you go.
Yes, you
That's
are. You're
that's
riding
I
from the
love it.
yellow bus. Yes.
I love it. So crossing the finish line in Tokyo. What's your emotion?
So I recorded myself where I was saying to myself, I did it. And then I was calling my mom's name. I was like, Mom, I did it. She said, all the way in Ghana. And I was calling her name
Oh.
like, I was like, I did it, Mom. I did it. I did. I think I said it all the way through when I finished. I think I was maybe 200 meters away. And I just started, just when I saw the finish line, I just saw it. And I was like, oh my God, I just saw that fusion, the, the pink banner. I was like, oh my God, it's done. It's done. So I was
Aw.
screaming. I was like, oh, Mom. I was like, Mom, I did it, Mom. I was just screaming my mother's name. And I was like, oh, she's not even here. But I sent it to her as soon as I crossed the finish line. I sent her the video. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How quickly do they give you the 6-star medal? Is it there? Like
The same day.
Because you had it right away.
Yeah, you get it the same day. So you have at Tokyo, they have a lane that you have, the finishers for 6 stars. You have a lane that you veer into, and then you go into that lane. So you cross, and then they have a lane for you to go. And then I bet they have themselves all set up there, so they are ready for you to hand you. And I don't know if I think it was one of the directors. He was like, "Are you Nana? You're the first Ghanaian." It's like, "Yeah, we'll be waiting for you to cross." So that felt good. Yeah, that felt really good. Yeah, that felt really good.
I mean, they had graphics, like the thing that we use for the promo for this. I mean, they were advertising. You are the first from your country attempt like some pressure.
That is, yeah.
Do you know how many people at Tokyo this year completed their 6-star?
I think it was over 1,000.
Okay.
It was over 1,000. Yes, it was over 1,000. Yeah.
I mean, a big number, but a small number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because we had about 40,000 runners in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was about 1,000 finished, and about 3. I think it was Ghana, Mauritius, another country with 3 new countries that were having 6 stars. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's so cool. I you know what I mean?
Cool.
That's like, I don't know like what else to say, like besides like it's just cool,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's so inspiring. And to think that you had never even done a marathon until you're 45.
Yeah. How do you apply? So it sounds like you're pretty dedicated. Like you went in and you're doing this. Is this the same way you just have gone about life in general? And so I wanted to bring this up. It's interesting. And whether it was hard, I have no idea, but a lot of the women we've had on, they really find this new thing after divorce. And there's like been a few of
absolutely,
us, and so was that a little bit of an inspiration for you, like afterwards, like you just kind of was like, yeah, I'm doing something. I mean, or was this somebody you've just always been like a dedicated person to everything you do?
I don't know. Maybe my family might be able to answer that, but I'm very passionate about, the things that I want to do. I'm very intentional about a lot of things that I do. And I didn't set out to do any of this. It was not something that I had to be the first Ghanaian. But when I saw that there was no one has ever run it in the Abbott, I wanted to do it. I want to do it for me. I want to do it for my nation. So I would say it was a goal that I wanted to achieve, for myself and like I said, for my country. I think I've always been that way. If I'm passionate about something, I'm going to see it through. If I start it, then I'm going to make sure that I see it through. So like my stories will tell you, once you pledge to the Epsilon, there's nothing that you cannot do. So right. Yeah, so I believe so. Yeah, I think I live that way. Yeah.
Awesome.
I love it. I love how much pride you have for your country. So different direction for someone like myself that's never been to Ghana. Tell me, like, what are the 3 or 4 best things about Ghana? And it is on my list of places to go. But let's just say I was like, oh, why should one go to Ghana? Sell me.
Well, so you are in luck, because I also do tours in Ghana. So you are in luck. So when you're ready to go, just call me. Right. So now Chabelle Luxury Travel, we create travel tours for folks from the US to go to Ghana and visit. So the first thing I would tell you, I know that you've heard about the jollof rice fight, know that Ghana is the jollof rice king. Period. Full stop. Don't let anybody tell you anything different.
I don't
Period.
know if I could tell my Nigerian parents
Oh,
that because I do.
no, 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 no. It's a farce. It's a farce. You know, they don't come close. They don't
Okay.
come close. So if anybody tell you anything different, it's a lie. Two, we have the best beaches. You know, best beaches to go to. Yes. Great nightlife. You know, in Ghana, we don't sleep. Yeah, we are worse than Paris, London. We are worse than Paris and New York. We don't sleep. You know, so I mean, we are up all night, and then when I was like in my 40s, I would party all night, sleep all day, get up in at night, and do the whole thing over again. I cannot do that anymore now. So yeah,
You're out of practice.
cannot-
You're just out of practice.
I can no
It's
longer
fine.
do that. Yeah. If you want to go anywhere in West Africa, Ghana is the place to go. It's safe. We have, you know, it's a safe country to visit. We're very welcoming to everyone. All nations are welcome. There's, you know, I mean, we are like a big old community-based country. Wherever you go, you fit in. Wherever you go, you be welcome. You know, we don't we sometimes I feel like we are colorblind. We don't care. You know, if you want to eat, we'll eat with you. If you want to party, we'll party with you. So it's open. Doors are open. Come on in.
Oh, thank you.
Phaedra, I think we have another trip, so we'll have to.
Well, weren't we talking about going to
Berlin last
Berlin?
year.
Oh yeah,
last
so Berlin.
week we were talking about going to Berlin.
I didn't like getting into this was going to take us all over the world, but now I'm pretty stoked. So
I absolutely love it. So, you know, final question for you. When you're in Ghana or anywhere and you're talking to a young girl and you're showing her your medals, your accomplishments, what words of advice do you give to a young woman?
We can do anything. You know, we can do anything we put our minds to. Um, People have asked me this same question, but I always tell them that running is not. I don't get paid to run.
Mm-hmm.
I have a full-time job. You know, I'm a college. You know, I'm a college graduate. I have an MBA. So education is your number one. You know, this whole running thing that we are doing. Some people get paid. Elites get paid to run. I pay to go and run. There's a difference between me and elites, right? Elites get paid to go and run. I pay people to go and run. So first and foremost, make sure that you get your education, and then let the running be something that you enjoy doing. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. Well, thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining us.
Sherry. Thank you,
I will
Phaedra.
tell you,
Thank you, Nana.
I had expectations for this, and you have met them, and you have exceeded
Thank
them.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We will be in touch.
Thank you.
For many things. I want to learn more about Black Girls Run.
Okay.
On the side. I got to go to Ghana.
Okay.
It seems like it has to be through. And I just absolutely adore you as well. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Phaedra. Thank you so much
You're
for
one of my friends.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Cheers.
She's so sweet. How are we just getting all these like women that are just amazing? And she's just so like in love with life. And but it was, as she was talking, like it was funny because I wanted to say this when we were on, is that, you know, when she talked about like the community and just and just having like the people that like the woman that like ran with her, those 23, or you know, stuck by her, and how she, like everything that she was saying, especially with the training, it's interesting because I was like, it's very much like, I'm sure many sports, but I just remember being like that with ninja, like when we were training all the time. And but then when she's talking about rest and all that, because so many people just still like with everything, we're just going to do it all the time. and not take the breaks, or just like, because we just keep doing it at our full speed and our full force all the time, that's going to make us better. And it's like, no, your body's going to like fall apart, which is, I get, because my body did before taping of the season. And you're just like, God, I wish I would have gone about that. I'm not 20 something years old. I wish I would have gone about that, or it's better.
We're not in our 20s anymore.
No. I don't know, but she was wonderful. I'm glad you reached out to her, and my little bullet here just
you know, I saw some posts. I was like, oh, you know her? Can you get her? Thanks.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really, you know, I just love women accomplishing cool things, and
absolutely.
Just, you know, it's like you know, like my new best friend Fifi, our
oh my gosh, she's been killing it.
She said since we've talked to Fifi from St. Vincent, she set 2 national records. So because she already had both the indoor and outdoor 800, she set the 600, and then last weekend she set the 1500 one.
Yeah, I remember her talking.
In addition to that, yeah, 1500.
And she was like, I don't know about that.
That was at the Tom Jones Memorial, this big meet. She won both the
I saw that.
Both the 800 and the 1500, and she set the Texas Relays 800 meter record.
Yeah, I saw that.
That is 3 records, 2 for her country, 1 for Texas Relays. Just
awesome.
It's just great. You know, you get these like, I was like, you know, when I go down to St. Vincent, I want to see her in the airport, right?
I
like her picture up on there.
Exactly. As you're coming down the escalator.
And this actually, Penn State has an 800 meter guy from St. Vincent as well.
Oh,
so it's kind of cool. So. I know. I saw her liking his stuff on Instagram, commenting. I was like, I see Fifi cheering for Penn State. She was giving me crap about before the interview. She was like, nah. She's like, not Penn State. That's Coach Johnson's ex-place. You got to go to Arkansas.
Well, you know, it's great. It's so great.
I love it. So we have like a whole list of countries we're going to have to go to.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited about that, actually. So I'm not going to lie, because we're just going to be traveling the world now and doing our podcast from different parts of the world.
Right.
Going live.
Like going live. I know it's 6 a.m. in Ghana, but we haven't gone to bed yet. So let's go live.
We have a party happening behind us. Oh, that'd be amazing.
I love it. I love it so much. Well, another great week.
Another
lovely woman.
Yes, absolutely. I'm excited.
And on that note, we have had a lot of good ones, and we have
so many coming up. I looked at our list yesterday.
There is one guy on there.
Yes, there is.
He is. I've had him on before. He's our WNBA expert.
Oh, yes.
There's something even better about a guy that is that hardcore into women's sports. I absolutely adore him. So I can't wait. Yeah. I put a few guys in there here and there. You know, just sprinkle. And on that note,
this has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
Bye.